Is YouTube really the new 9 to 5 job that is helping people actually get paid so easily? I don't know. I mean, it clearly has not happened to me, but I'm seeing a lot of videos popping up with people basically talking about how YouTube is helping people get views so easily and get paid so easily. I mean, hey, if there were ever a time to get on YouTube and try to try to take advantage and get some of this YouTube money, well, now might be the time. Clearly, I can't speak from my experience, right? Because that has not been the case for me, right? All this YouTube is on easy mode and all that type stuff that I keep seeing all over the place. It has not necessarily been the case for me, right? However, with that being said, that doesn't mean it couldn't happen for you. So, if I were you, if you've ever thought about it, if you've ever even considered it, if you've ever um, dreamt it, whatever the case may be, if there were ever a time to try to get on board and try to take advantage of what seems to be going on, at least I'm seeing it happening for others, even though it has not yet happened for me, now would be the time to get on board. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people who started doing who have started doing YouTube long after I ever started, right? And I'm seeing them getting monetized in record time, making money in record time, right? From the YouTube Partner Program. So I mean, clearly it's happening, right? Clearly it's happening now. Whether or not this is the, I'm inclined to think that's not. It's not necessarily the norm, right? Those for those people that we see it happening to, those seem to be outliers. At least that's what I'm inclined to think. But then I could be completely wrong. Okay. So if I were you, I would not listen to a word I'm saying with regards to the not so probable side of things, right? I would totally take advantage and give it a shot and see why not you. It could very well be you, right? I don't know how many I could, and this is the thing about YouTube as well, though, right? When it sees that you are, and this is about YouTube and the way the algorithm works, right? When it sees that you're watching a certain particular genre of content or some particular topic, right? And it sees you spending time on that particular topic, guess what? It starts to suggest and feed even more of that. So naturally, for someone like me who seems to be seeing all this type of content popping up all over the place where people seem to be making money easily with YouTube, right, from the YouTube Partner Program, um, because I'm watching that a lot, it keeps suggesting more of that to me because it wants me to stay on the platform. And when you stay on the platform, they make more money because they can serve more ads and and share that revenue with the content creators that I'm watching, right? So it could be that, right? It could be that, or it actually is the case that that YouTube is, is starting to become, that it's starting to become that much easier, right, to get monetized and stuff, right? One thing is clear though, the one thing that I can attest to, or one thing that I do know for a fact, is that YouTube is definitely pushing out the content of smaller creators right now. It's no longer only pushing like the big creators, those who have like the massive followings and all that, right? It's no longer that big, that popularity contest, so to speak, right? What is clearly happening, because I keep seeing more and more and more of it showing up on my feed, even when I'm not necessarily looking for it, but I'm seeing a lot of smaller creators popping up and getting views, right? I mean, I'm being suggested to me, right? So that leads me to tell you that there is definitely some money out there to be made. Okay, and bear in mind the YouTube Partner Program, right? Getting monetized through AdSense. That is not the only way to make money with YouTube. Okay, you can start monetizing your channel from day one with other things, right? Like whether it's like your own products, right? If you have any products of your own to sell, or other people's products, where you promote other people's products as an affiliate. Okay, and there are so many different places where, so many different marketplaces that you can go to become an affiliate for various products and stuff. So, but hey, I know the easy part, or at least the easy money that everybody's looking for, right? Where you don't have to do any work, right? You don't even have to bother about trying to go out there and find affiliate programs to promote and all that type of stuff. I know that what everyone is looking for is that YouTube partner program money, right? The AdSense money. So, but then again, it's there are requirements to get paid with that, right? And of course, the two main ones that, when we're talking about long form content, right? I'm not referring to YouTube Shorts. The main ones are getting 1,000 subscribers, okay? And on top of that, you need to have 4,000 watch hours in the previous 365 days, okay? In my opinion, it's easier to accumulate the subscribers, to accumulate the 1,000 subscribers, than it is to attain those 4,000 watch hours, right? That seems to be the more daunting task, in my mind anyway, at least from my experience, from what I'm seeing. I think it is easier to attain the 1,000 subscribers, because I've seen multiple creators, right, who have started YouTube channels and gotten the subscribers in record time. I've seen people get on and get to 1,000 subscribers 1,000 subscribers within 10 days. There might be others who have been struggling for a while, low subscriber count, and they keep posting, and then all of a sudden one video just blows up, right? And then with that one video, they accumulate all the subscribers that they need. Okay. So that is going, at least in my opinion, right? I'm no expert or anything, but at least I've messed around long enough with YouTube and seeing the experience of others. I've messed around with it long enough to strongly feel like it is easier to get the 1,000 subscribers than it is to get those 4,000 watch hours. Okay. But anyway, you have to start. That's the main thing, right? You got to start in order to even give yourself a chance to hit those requirements, right? But hey, that's what seems to be the case right now. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen creators who have been, struggling, right, within their day-to-day lives with what they do for work, right? And whereby they're not necessarily getting paid as much, right? And then they start doing YouTube, and then all of a sudden they get to the point where they're monetized, and then they're making more from their YouTube videos than they do at their 9 to 5 job. Okay, so that's the thing that makes me, that's what makes me bet. It begs the question, right? Is YouTube now becoming the new 9 to 5? That's helping people get paid, because that's what a lot of people are starting to do. Like, it seems like people are starting to it's becoming more mainstream. A lot more people are more aware of it. A lot of people have been aware of the fact that you can make money just, creating videos on YouTube, but I don't think it's been as popular as it is becoming right now, so, as we speak, right? I'll say in the recent, at least from what I'm seeing, from my vantage point anyway, it seems to me, right, that unless, maybe I've been under a rock, but it seems to me that just in the past year or two max, that things have started to become more favorable for smaller creators, right? So that's the thing, I hesitate to say that it's actually that it's easy for anybody to go ahead and do this, right? Which it very well might be, okay? And maybe because that has not necessarily been my experience, right? So, and for those who do say that it's extremely easy and that anybody can do it and that they should jump on, right, and start creating content, I don't blame them for saying that or thinking that way, because that has been their experience, right? It has been their experience that it just happened and it came easy to them, right? So, but for the number of people, I mean, the rate at which I'm seeing it happen and all that type of stuff, I would highly encourage you to go ahead and get started with a YouTube channel. You don't quit your job, right? Don't quit your job. Hang on to that and do this on the side, right? Because it doesn't take as much time, right? This is something that it's just as simple as just whipping out your phone and you start creating content, right? Start creating content. Now, here's the other thing too, though, to bear in mind, to keep in mind, which might also explain why it might not necessarily have been the case that it's easy for me or others like me, or what in my mind I think is the overwhelming majority, right? That I think it has a lot to do with the topics and the content that you do talk about. Okay. um yes, there is, you can go into whatever niche you want, and there are always going to be people, no matter what it is that you're interested in, there are always going to be others who are interested in the stuff that you're talking about. There is an audience for you, right? You're not the only one that likes what you talk about, right? Or likes the stuff that you're into, okay? However, what I have seen that tends to be the recurring theme of the people who are blowing up and just just having it seem like it's really easy for to start getting paid on YouTube, right? The recurring theme is like they all seem to revolve around some particular topics, which leads me to tell you that if you want to blow up quickly, you better start talking about the things that people really want to hear in general, or the things that people want to watch, right? And what I've seen tends to be really popular is things related to, like your personal finances, like especially, people who are struggling, talking about, you know, how their day to day lives and how they're having a hard time, and talking about their jobs and what happens on their jobs, stuff like that. Data, and it makes sense because now it's starting to get to the point where people want to see real stuff. They want to see stuff. They want to see stuff that they can relate to. Okay, as opposed to like the high value production type stuff of back in the day, right? The stuff that used to be pushed out more, like all the, don't get me wrong, all the high value production and the editing and all that type of stuff, yeah, it still gets views and all that type of stuff. But what seems to be really taking off right now, which has not been the case in the past, which is why smaller content creators right now are getting more visibility, is just this regular, everyday type stuff, right? All this regular struggles with your finances, and it doesn't have to be struggles. Even if you're succeeding, right, and doing really well, and showing people how well you're doing and how you're doing and all that type of stuff. That stuff works because people in general, I mean, as people, we are, I don't know, for lack of a better way to say, we are inherently nosy, right? We kind of want to see how other people are doing as compared to ourselves, right? um it's that's just the thing. And then if it's not that, even if it's just stuff that you're doing for fun every single day, like your day-to-day life, like people for some reason, we enjoy living vicariously through other people's experiences and stuff like that. So but it's got to be like your regular everyday day-to-day stuff, right? Just that you talk about, that seems to be, it's got to be that. Or I know one of the other things that seems to be, stuff that would typically do really well is talking about celebrities and stuff that they do, celebrity news and all that, and reactions, all that type of stuff. And that's the thing, right? There are some of these topics which, another big one too is like how people talking about their journeys blowing up on YouTube and all that type of stuff, right? That's another one that does seems to do really well. But where was I going? I think I was just basically going with um the fact that you're gonna have to come to terms with you're gonna have to come to terms with the fact that if whatever it is that you do want to talk about on YouTube, or whatever the niches that you pick, the content that you want to start creating, you're gonna have to come to terms with the fact that if it is not something that people in general on a large scale are particularly interested in and want to hear about, you are going to grow slowly, very slowly, very, very, very slowly. Okay. And that's something that I'm just having to come to terms with. Like I've noticed the things that I actually want to talk about on my channel, they don't seem, or the topics that I necessarily want to cover, they don't seem to gain as much traction as when I do videos on the topics that people want to hear about. Okay. So you're just gonna have to determine for yourself. Like if you happen to want to talk about the things that are trending and that are doing really well and that are great, that's awesome for you, right? That's fantastic, right? So go have at it, right? And go all out. But just understand, right? Just understand that if you're not really willing and interested in talking about those things, or even exposing a lot of your personal life, right? Um, there you might there might you might have a little bit of your growth might be slower. Let's just put it that way, okay? Your growth might be slower. The only reason I hesitate to say that is because I don't want it to seem like those are the only things that you can talk about in order to grow, become a big successful channel, right? I don't want to make it seem that way. But anyway, just something for you to consider. Now, if you are looking to start monetizing your channel earlier on, right? While you're waiting to get monetized through the YouTube Partner Program, I would highly encourage you to check out the links that I have in the description below this video. Those are like some of the things that I tend to like talking about. It's when it comes, especially when like the first link in the description below. That is about learning how to sell, like create your own and sell your own digital products, or sell those of other people's as an affiliate, right? As a way to generate income, like that's an extra side hustle. That's something that you may or may not be interested in. But if you've ever been interested in that type of stuff, I would highly encourage you to check out that first link in the description below this video. That's what I like talking about, or at least that's the a lot of the content that I look to produce, right? It tends to revolve around that, right? And I'm using that to as a way to be as a means to get to financial independence, right? That's the journey that I'm trying to document on this channel right here. And then the second link in the description below this video will be something that you can use to start making money as well. If you don't have money to spend or invest into actually starting a business and all that, that second link in the description below will be a place where you can open up a high yield savings account with a company called SoFi, multi-billion-dollar company, and they will give you $25 for free just for opening the account and funding it with $50. You want to do it with your existing bank issued debit card, so that once you do deposit that $50, you will almost instantly, like within 15 to 20 minutes, get a $25 welcome bonus. And when you do that, you will have that account for free, and then you can also refer others to open an account, and you will make $75 for each and every person that you refer to open a high yield savings account, right? So they can start making more, besides just the earnings, the commissions you get from referring others. You're actually helping others to make more money, have their money work for them, right? With the high interest, right? The high interest, the high yielding interest from the high yield savings account. Okay. At the time of this recording, it's around like 4%. So if you had like, I don't know, $30,000, for example, sitting inside that account, you'd be making $100 per month just on your money sitting there, or $10,000 sitting in there, you'd be making, about $400 per year, right? So, but anyway, those are a couple things to take into consideration. But it's all through YouTube, so that's where things are heading right now. People are more people are becoming aware of it, and it seems like people are turning to YouTube. YouTube is becoming like the new 9 to 5, becoming like the new 9 to 5 job. So hey, take advantage while this period exists, because it might not be here forever. So if you've ever thought about it, go ahead and get started. Thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I will catch you in my next one. Ciao.